Bless me, oh Lord, bless me indeed, enlarge my territory, oh Lord, bless me indeed. I pray for increase. Bless me indeed. I pray for increase. 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 Oh Lord, bless me indeed. Enlarge my territory. Oh Lord, bless me indeed. I pray for increase. Bless me indeed. I pray for increase. Keep your hands upon me, that no evil cannot harm me. Sunshine and rain, sickness and pain, Lord, I humbly come to you. Enlarge my territory. Enlarge my territory. Oh Lord, bless me indeed. I pray for increase. Bless me indeed. I pray for increase. Keep your hand upon me, that no evil cannot harm me. Sunshine and rain, sickness and pain, Lord, I humbly come to you. I want you to enlarge my territory. I need you to enlarge my territory. I want you to enlarge my territory. Enlarge my territory. I pray for increase. Enlarge my territory. I pray for increase. Enlarge
That was, oh my God, I can't even breathe. Thank you. Good morning, beautiful human beings. Good morning. Good morning, live streamers. And also good morning to those who will be watching this later because maybe they couldn't get up this morning. And that's okay. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, where we are transforming lives, building dreams, and revealing love. Where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. Welcome home. Oh, I'm Jennifer Amaya, and I'm your hostess today. I am a member of this totally awesome place, and one of my favorite things to do here is play on this stage, whether it be acting, singing a little cabaret, or dancing. And I want to give an extra special welcome to any newcomers today. We're so happy that you're here. We have a little welcome packet, little cute brown bag full of goodies at the concierge table for after service. You can also connect with us via our website. We have an awesome Facebook page, or you can just give us a ring. All of that information is located on the back of your bulletin. Or if you just want to sneak out the back doors after service, which I've done a million times, there are welcome packets in the foyer as well. Live streaming folk. Your go-to lady, your moderator for the day is Anne from Oregon. Hi, Anne. You can type in any questions or comments, and she'll be happy to help you. Last, and certainly not least, let's celebrate being together on this gorgeous Sunday, June 29th. Say hello to your lovely neighbors. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. What a lively bunch. I love that about you. My name is Maren Eisenhart, and I'm one of the licensed professional prayer practitioners here at the center, and I'm honored to be your practitioner of the day. So what we'll do now is we'll go into a couple minutes of a moment of chanting with our magnificent musicians, and then we'll move into 2 minutes of silence, prayerful silence. And then we'll pray, and then we'll read together, say our monthly affirmation.
Bless me, oh Lord, bless me indeed, enlarge my territory,
in this precious, sweet silence, I am so beautifully reminded that in this silence, in the air, in everything all around us, I know that God is abundantly present. There is nowhere that God is not. In the prayers, in the music, in the smiles, in the hugs, in the tears, God is everywhere here. And knowing that magnificent divinity that holds us like a blanket, like a mother to its child, I am comforted in knowing that we are all held in those loving arms of God. And as we step into this day, we step into the magnificent opportunity to say yes. To say yes to life, to say yes to joy, to say yes to relationship, to say yes to all the magnificent gifts that life has to offer. All of it is presented to every single being here who hears my voice, who touches and connects everywhere in this world. That beautiful yes to accept the love and the grace and the magnificence that God is in and through all of us. Today is a magnificent day. And I celebrate and honor each and every being that hears my voice and beyond. And in that celebration, in that yes of life, I revel and I sit in gratitude for the magnificence that comes and flows in and through all of us today and every day. And so in that gratitude, I just lovingly and gently release these words, for they were already done so in the heart and mind of God, even before they passed over my lips. And so if any of this resonates with you, please anchor this truth by saying, and so it is. Won't you please read the affirmation with me? All that I am is one with the one perfect life. All the joy there is, all the happiness, all the beauty are mine now. I am born of the Spirit. I am in the Spirit. I am the Spirit made manifest.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, why don't you stand up and dance with me? Dance. I hope you can. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. that you never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance,
Hello. Good evening. Good morning. My name is Jermaine Spivey, and this is my son Jermaine. Say hi.
Hi.
This is my son Kadrian,
Hi.
and we're going to do the Insight Talk for this morning. This morning we would like to talk to you about the youth and family. And more importantly, I would like to talk to you about how it affects our lives. A lot of times, as parents, we wonder if our children are learning anything in the back rooms. Okay. So I want to share two quick stories with you to show you some of the principles and the effects that our children are learning from our family and youth services. I was with both of my sons, and my 8-year-old son Jermaine. We were in Kaiser Permanente. We were in a parking lot, and we saw a young lady who looked pretty distressed. You could see on her face, she kept walking up to different people, and people couldn't help her. My son grabbed my shoulder, and he said, "Dad, let's go and try to help this young lady." So as we walk over there and we begin to have a conversation with her, we found out that she could speak only Spanish, so she couldn't speak English, so that was part of her frustration. But both of my sons are bilingual, so they can speak Spanish and English. So my son Jermaine started communicating with her. So we soon found out that she had locked her keys in her car, and nobody could help her. So we were able to get security and unlock the car, and she was able to get home safely. Thank you. One of the biggest parts of that story was when we were finished, I looked at my son and I said, Jermaine, what is it, or what made you so confident to say, Daddy, that's going to help? My son looked at me and he said, Dad, he said, God is peace. And he said, God is peace, so I am peace. So at that moment, I had a realization that he understands that he has the characteristics of God, that he knows that there's a direct connection with him and God, that there's no separation. So that made me and my wife very excited as parents. My second story I'd like to share with you is involving my son, Kadrian. My son, Kadrian, is 5, and he was at preschool, and he had to go in front of the class, and he was going to perform a speech. He's so independent. So at that particular time, he looked at my wife, and he said, Mom, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. I don't know. And then my wife's like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Are you going to be okay? And then he said, I got this, Mom. I got this. So he went up and he gave his speech and he did an awesome job. So then later my wife was talking to him. She said, Kadrian, how did you do it? He said, you know what? When we were in children's church with teacher Liza, we talked about courage. And he said, Mom, I got courage in my heart. I just put my courage in my heart and I went and did it. So once again, as a parent, I was excited because I'm realizing that the principles that they're learning behind those walls, they're able to apply them in life situations. So, you want to say anything? Yeah. Okay. My son also wants to know that they got confidence as well. That confidence, and they're just gaining strength and confidence. So what we would like to do as a family, and my wife, Kelly, who would be here, but she's up there cheering us and waving at us. On behalf of my courage. My son wanted to make sure I said courage part. But on behalf of my family, we just wanted to thank CSL, the Youth and Family Ministry, for what they're doing in our lives. We thank you for how they're allowing us to grow up as leaders and as people with creative ideas and courage and strength. So we just like to give thanks, and thanks for this opportunity.
You really, really take away a lot more than you donate because they are remarkable. They eventually become the teachers all the time. So I want to recap this month. This month has been very exciting. We have been sowing seeds of happiness for the whole month of June. And on June 1st, Michelle Jordan talked to us on the topic facing facts, and she gave us that beautiful word, Sankofa. Sankofa, which was a word from the Akan tribe in Ghana, which means going back to reclaim our past so we can understand how and why we came to be who we are today, and then move forward, right? But first we understand and then move forward. On June 8th, 15th, and 22nd, Dr. David was here, and he talked about things must get better on the 8th, and he told the story about the 3 fish, and there's one old fish, and 2 swam by, and the old fish said, "How's the water?" And the 2 fish said, got past and said, "What's water?" Right? But it was beautiful. It's that beautiful analogy of the thing itself, that we're so steeped in it. May we be so steeped in it that we don't even notice it. You know, how beautiful that it's all around and it's ever present. Hidden facts, he talked about on the 15th, and asked a very important question. Are we creating the very things from which we want to extricate ourselves? And he reminded us that effective prayer has a lot to do with the integrity of our word, speaking our word. Last week, how to help others. I was in Santa Cruz, but I got to watch the video, and he talked about the distinction, the important distinction between helping and enabling. And then he attempted to sing a Sesame Street song, which I'll talk to him about next week. I was at home, and I had a whole different melody in my head when I was watching that at home. So here we are on the last Sunday of June, the 29th. And it's the last week for sowing seeds of happiness, which as I was typing it, I thought that sounds so funny. This is the last week to sow seeds of happiness. After this, we're out. Had a microphone, I drop it. We out. But after I stopped laughing at myself, I thought, oh, that's pretty profound though, because what am I going to sow after this? What will I sow after this? Last Saturday, I officiated a wedding for an adorable couple, Andrea and Jacob. They got married in Milpitas. And I'm like, they're getting younger, or something is happening, because that's my story. They're getting younger. I'm just going to leave it at that. And when I officiate a wedding ceremony, there's a moment where the couple typically will exchange rings, and as part of the ring blessing, I hold their rings in my hand, but I invite their family and friends, because you have to think, when a couple gets married, out of all the people in the world, these are the ones that are going to love them the most or be there. They could have invited anybody, but it's whoever's there. And I ask them to help bless the rings very simply by raising their right hand, and either in the privacy of their hearts or out loud, if they choose, to say a word that embodies their hopes, desires, and wishes and blessings for this couple the rest of their life. And inevitably, most of the things, I mean, there's things like health and wealth and, you know, great sex, kids, all that, but inevitably, the majority of the responses are happiness, 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 happiness. And then, even before we get to that day, I usually meet with the couple ahead of time, of course, and I ask them to tell me their love story, especially if it's a couple I don't know well. I ask them to tell me, how did you meet? What first attracted you to the other? And then when did you know you were in love? And most importantly, why do you want to spend the rest of your life with this person? What is it? And what are your wishes for the rest of your life with this person? And inevitably, in that list, it comes up again. Usually the first thing they say, happiness. And I cringe. I cringe because I'm trying to balance this magical moment and this amazing love that they're feeling and experiencing with the desire to not be Captain Buzzkill at this moment. You know? It's like, yeah, happy. Okay. All right. Yeah. And, because there's always an and, right? Because happiness is a feeling. Anybody ever experienced that? That happiness is fleeting? Does it come and go for you? Oh, good. It's not just me. Thank you. I'm glad it's not just me. I remind them that happiness is an admirable goal, admirable and beautiful, and yes, yes, but it might not nearly be as important as connection, as commitment, as unity. It might not nearly be as important as a love, a connection, a commitment, a unity that is so strong, so grounded, and so centered that when happy goes, nothing will shake this. That this is unshakable. It is indestructible, and it will survive anything, happy or not, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. That is so important to me. And it's a gentle lesson to get across. I get it across gently. I know that some of you find that hard to believe. And you know what else I love to remind them? I love to remind them that really my biggest wish for them is that today is the day they love one another the least. And every now and then they kind of go, And I went, just think about it. Just think about it. But then I thought, here I am. Today's topic. Let me go back to that. Today's topic is uprooting the undesirable. And here's what Ernest Holmes said. Ernest Holmes, in our book of the year, A New Design for Living, this whole chapter this month about facing facts, has really been awesome. And in the uprooting the undesirable portion, it's really short. He says, guard well this garden of your mind. It is God's garden of your soul. It is your garden of Eden, wherein may grow your fondest desires and hopes blossoming into fulfillment. Watch carefully then this garden of your soul. Plant there only seeds of happiness, of joy, of peace, and goodwill. It may be necessary to cultivate your garden, to uproot the weeds and straighten out the rows, planting new seeds, new ideas, broader visions, and deeper realizations of life. Watch your garden carefully. Guard it patiently, waiting for a new harvest, for you shall reap what you sow. And then Marcus Aurelius wrote, I think he knew Ernest. Just kidding. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature. They all knew something. Marcus Aurelius, Ernest Holmes, Aristotle, Epictetus, all of the teachers of the past are trying to tell us that the heart of happiness is inside us, that it's always there, it's our natural state. But are we digging deep enough? Are we digging deep enough? So I have this guilty pleasure. A lot of times when I get home at night, because sometimes you do classes till about 10 and it's kind of late, and I need something mind-numbing. Do you ever get to that point where it's like, I want to do something completely brainless? I either want to watch The Three Stooges or, slapstick, something, or read like a trashy like People magazine or something, brainless, mindless. I want to read or watch something that has no redeeming social value whatsoever. I'm allowed. So my guilty thing is I sit with my iPad and I play games. Love Words with Friends. I love Candy Crush. Anybody else? Play the, okay. My people. And I also like this game called Jewel Mania, where you have to mine for jewels. And God has an amazing sense of humor. Well, especially the one that I pray to. Has to. And Jewel Mania is a game where you mine for jewels. You have to get through so many levels. And I have been playing this game for a long time. Really, I've been playing this game since I got an iPad, which is a long time. Or I think, in fact, I used to play it on my iPhone. It's like a long time. Now I'm getting ready, right? So the other night I'm sitting there and I go and I sit in my chair and I play my game. And all of a sudden, for the first time in all the time I've been playing this, I didn't make it through the level. I lost that level. And the message came up and it said, you did not dig deep enough. Like, shut up. Are you kidding me? And forever I've been playing this game. I thought, how did I never notice that before? And then the second part of this, the second God wink, we bought our house. We've been in our house about 6 years, and shortly after we moved in, I noticed that our fence was being overtaken by morning glories. Anybody know what that is? And they are pretty and evil at the same time. Because once they grow, they keep growing. And we actually lost a white birch tree because this morning glory was entwined all the way up into the tree. So it begins to choke things, right? So Max and I, and it wasn't ours, by the way, it was on the other side of the fence. But the other neighbor that we used to have, nice people, but apparently not gardeners, were letting it grow wild, like I am. But anyway, they were letting it grow wild. I know Ceci's here and I'm really scared because Ceci is like an awesome gardener. So they were letting this thing grow wild and it was coming through my fence and taking over things. So we had to get rid of the morning glory. We had to dig it up, right? And I was really excited because then it was gone and we could put in things that we wanted. We put in like some star jasmine, blah, blah. And a couple of weeks ago, I opened the back door to let the dogs out and I went, uh-oh. Because there were these things coming up the fence. No! So then the gardener came that Friday, and I said to the gardener, we took this out. I said, we yanked it up and everything. I said, why is it back? And he looks at me in his broken English and said, you did not dig deep enough. I'm like, wow. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So I'm looking up, I'm actually on Google, it gets better, I'm on Google, I'm actually looking up this stuff about like morning glory, like I Google morning glory, and a book comes up, and when you look on Google it sometimes just gives you like a sentence, and it says, Kierkegaard, a practical handbook of trees, shrubs, vines, and herbaceous perennials. And I went, Kierkegaard wrote that? Turns out it's John Kierkegaard from Brisbane, Australia, who is an agricultural scientist. And I click on the link, and this little italicized thing comes up that says, one of the best ways of keeping down the weeds is to encourage the grass by generous treatment, as it is where the grass is thin and the soil is poor that the weeds grow the most vigorously. What amazing advice. Keep down the weeds by encouraging the grass with generous treatment, for it is where the grass is thin and the soil is poor that the weeds grow most vigorously. And I thought, wow, where am I missing opportunities for generous treatment? Where am I missing that? What weeds am I allowing to grow? Forget about the morning glory. What about my brain and my heart? Are there weeds of judgment? Are there weeds of resentment? Are there weeds of limitation? Are there weeds of upset? But even more important than naming them, am I going deep enough to find the root of the unwanted seeds? Am I going deep enough? So back to this couple, right? They just make me laugh every time I do one of the weddings where I have one of these meetings, because I think about those times when that's what I used to think. I used to think that happiness was it, right? But it was always external. It was that something external that was going to deliver me happiness, the right boss or the right career move, the right, the next promotion, my mother's approval, more counseling. Oh. That's another class. But I finally learned over time, and I am still learning, by the way, it's an endless lesson, that it's more a matter of simply developing new habits with my language. If I could just develop new habits with my language, like, what do I say to myself internally when I do something well? Do I take the time to even pat myself on the back? Probably not. What do I say to myself when I do something stupid? Probably that. Well, that was stupid. With that face. And what am I saying about others? Can I change that practice and say something else, something intentionally kind? Can I cultivate this generous treatment? What undesirable way of being do I have to uproot in myself? But in order to sow seeds of happiness, in order to even uproot the undesirable, I have to get clear. I have to go deep enough to get clear on what do I really believe. And I was thinking about it even earlier. I said it. Am I a center for spiritual living? Am I a center for spiritual living, or do I just attend a center for spiritual living? That's really important for me. Because if I am a center for spiritual living, then I am cultivating that generosity, right? I'm trying to weed and I'm trying to go deeper. I mean, what's going on here, really, on Sunday, on Wednesdays, on Thursdays, in classes? What do I actually believe is going on here? And even more importantly, what's going on after here? It's that thing with the newlyweds. You know that the cake's going to get eaten, right? And it's an awesome day, and the champagne corks are popping, and the DJ's there, and everybody's dancing, and the garter toss, and the bouquet toss, and great food, and so much fun, and photographers clicking away like paparazzi. And then everybody's going to go home. The family's going to leave, and the friends are going to leave, and the presents are going to be unwrapped and put away, and the honeymoon is going to be over. And I thought, wow, that's like church. It's like church. I mean, it's awesome today. We got great music, and I'm inspired, and I'm like fired up, and I'm all prayed up, and I got my fix, my spiritual fix. It's like a patch. It's awesome. It's awesome. And then it's going to be Monday. And I'm going to plant seeds, because wherever we go, that's what we're doing. We're planting seeds. So I have to get to the mail. I have to tell you about the mail. This is just a couple of days sample from the USPS, United States Postal Service. And it's a whole mix. It's a mix of mailers. Somebody wants to give me a mortgage, but no thank you, I only want the one. Papa Murphy wants to give me a discount on a pizza, and I really have to call them. I have to call them. I have to tell them that if your name is Murphy, you can't make me a pizza. And yes, that is a judgment, and I am keeping it. Papa Giovanni can make me a pizza. Papa Murphy can pour me a stout. That's how my world works. Here's $20 off on golfing equipment. I don't golf. Don't ever intend to. Thank you. Dave, see me? Oh, here.
Well, thank you.
Here you go.
So much.
So yours. $20. It's an abundant universe. It really is. Really. I could have a Prius if I just sit through a 90-minute... Maybe I will get a Prius if I spend 90 minutes of my time listening to a timeshare, but my husband's 6'1". Have you ever seen a 6'1" man try to get in a Prius? It's kind of funny. Oh, and here's a coupon for Similac for moms. But the last time I had baby formula in my house, something went horribly wrong with my calendar. That rhythm method. Oops. You look at that pack and go, is it Thursday? Oh, hell. No, it's not. Anyway, and that's the USPS, right? But now we have electronic communication. So there's a thing called spam, right? And every day there's a spam filter that sends stuff that I shouldn't be bothered with into this spam folder, you know? Although I kind of miss hearing from the people who once in a while say, you look pretty nice, girl. Want meet me? And all the drug offers that I don't need. Like, no, thank you. And the Nigerian prince that just never shows up. I kind of miss those now. But that's kind of cool, though, when you think about it, that it just filters out that stuff you don't need. And I thought, wow, Wouldn't it be cool if I had like a spam filter, you know? Spiritual protection against myself. Spam. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And it just kind of filtered out all of the noise. Because you know what? That's what this is. Right? It's colorful and it's loud and it's attention grabbing and sparkly and shiny. Right? And aren't you tempted to just take the whole stack and go, oh God, and just toss it? Just toss it in the dumpster. It's like, I don't want this. I don't need this. But I have to tell you something that could happen. Because in this stack that I was so tempted to pitch, there was a thank you card from my niece with her graduation picture in it. And there was a reimbursement check from my dentist. And there was an invitation to a friend's birthday party. So I have to go slower, right? I have to dig deeper because as much as I really don't like the junk, there might be something precious and good for me in it. There's something precious in it for me if I go slower, if I dig deeper, if I take the time to go deeper. And I get all caught up in it. I get all caught up in the messy. You may have won a new Prius. I don't want that, but I want the invitation. I certainly wanted the check. So here are the do's. Watch and observe and believe that you can be trusted. You can be trusted. You can be your own spam filter. Remember that happiness is inside you. You are born that way. So when you feel the urge to jump up and throw everything out, think instead of a mantra maybe for today, there is something good and precious and valuable in this for me. And all I need to do is dig deeper. Deeper. One other quick thing, our book of the month, which I love, has a story, it's The Force of Kindness by Sharon Salazar. And Sharon encourages us to listen to Buddha's belief. And that belief is that everyone has in their heart a want to be happy, and that we should be happy, and that we can be happy as humans, even though we live in a complex, real, tumultuous world, which sometimes has junk. I have this really awesome story, one more quick story about going deeper. Some of you may know Max had knee replacement surgery on Monday, my husband. It went textbook. The surgeon's so pleased. In fact, those were his words. He said, textbook. It's great. And now it's the recuperation period. Alrighty then, I'll hurry up. So he had to be at the hospital at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. And I don't even want to do anything that feels good on Monday. Should we just stop? Hi, can we shut the projector off? There we go. Mechanical failure. You did not dig deep enough. Thank you. There we go. Chuck is going to shut that off. I hope. It's comedy. I'll tell you the story later. What? Okay, so he had me saying he had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't even like to do anything that feels good at 6 a.m. But it was fine. It went textbook, and at 7:30 that night, I decided that I should probably leave now and get some rest because I had to be back early the next morning. And I got down to the parking lot. He was all tucked away. He's well taken care of. He was still in the hospital. Said goodbye, and I get to the parking lot, and I put the key in the ignition, and I've got bags. I got his stuff, my purse, blah, blah. And I put the key in the ignition, and my car went click. Click. I thought, I can't, and I'm mechanically illiterate. That's another problem. So I pick up the phone, and I call Max. And I said, hey, I know you're on a morphine drip, but perhaps you can hear me. I said, the car won't start. Don't panic. But I don't seem to have the AAA card in my wallet. Did you take it, my AAA card? And he went, oh, I don't think I renewed the AAA. And the wife in me, can I tell you? I instantly went to that place of you what? And I didn't say a word. I went, I'll be fine. That's okay. I'll figure it out, honey. Get some rest. Click. I know. Thank you. Thank you. And then wonderful people came to the rescue. The next day, I did get back there at dark 30 and met with the surgeon and whatnot. And then he had his paperwork, which had to go to the patient care office or something, the business office, so that, you know, he'll get his leave of absence while he's gone. So he hands me the paperwork, and I take it there. And the very first thing she says is, your husband needs to sign this. You can't sign it for him. I went, well, my husband's kind of busy right now. And she said, well, we gave him the advance directive to fill out before his surgery when he came for his appointment so that you could be the power of attorney, but we don't seem to have that on file. And I said, let me call upstairs. I went, hon, did you turn in the advance directive? Oh. And now I'm starting to get a twitch. And I went, it's fine. Really, it's fine. No, it's okay. I'll be right up. I'll bring the papers up to you. So now I'm schlepping him back, blah, 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 blah. So then we finally get him home, and he's settled, and I said, okay, what did I forgot to get ice. So I said, I need to get ice. I said, and I'll be right back. I said, I'm just going down the street to Zenoto's. I'll be right back. So I get in the car, and I said, and I'll pick up some fruit. And I picked up a couple of things, and I walk in the house, and I got grocery bags, and my purse again, and ice, right? And my dog had gotten sick while I was gone, and then walked through the whole house. And Max is looking at me going, I heard him and I couldn't do anything about it. And I went, it's fine. I got it. It's fine. 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 And then I started sounding like a record that got stuck. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And probably at about 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, I had the biggest meltdown I've had in years. I mean, a sobbing mess in the kitchen. and Max is like bug-eyed going, and I went, it's not you, I'm fine. But here's what happened. In my prayer work that night, I really got quiet and I said, God, what was that? I mean, I have a cape. Can you see it? I have a cape. I got this. What was that about? And all of a sudden, I remembered being sick as a kid, and I've told you guys that story before. I spent most of my childhood really ill, and then even when you get better, like you have really protective parents, asking for help is a huge weakness. You don't ask for help, you know? I mean, I got that. I can do it. And it certainly occurred to me at 2 o'clock that afternoon, because I let myself dig deeper. It was like, this isn't about anything except you needing to pick up the phone and call a friend. Pick up the phone and call a friend. And I would not have gotten that if I would have kept doing the spiritual bypass. If I would have kept going, I'm fine. Even prayer. I mean, even calling like one of my colleagues and saying, hey, can you pray with me? I'm a little off, you know. I'm fine, but I just, you know, I need prayer. You know? I'm fine, just pray. Just pray for Max. Everybody I talked to even kept saying, how's Max? Max is great. He's a great patient. He's powering through this. I'm so inspired. And how are you? You know, sometimes it's hard for the caregiver. No, I'm fine. I wasn't fine. And I would not have gotten that if I had not gone deeper. So remember, in all of the junk, there is something precious and good for you. But dig deeper. Let's pray. Take a deep breath, and knowing that there is only one life, one source, one power. It is everywhere, it is everything, it is you. And deep enough inside of you is a place that is perfect. And it's always been perfect. And there's a place that's been happy because it's your natural state. And today, this week, is amazing. Yesterday was the start of Ramadan. And so we pray, we include our Muslim brothers and sisters that they may be experiencing the blessing and the peace of their high holy month. And this week is the 4th of July, where we celebrate freedom. But freedom didn't start in 1776 for us. It is our natural state. It is there. We were born with it. And this is Pride Weekend. And so we stand with our brothers and sisters, just like we stand with our Muslim brothers and sisters. We stand so that everyone has the freedom to be the fullest expression of who they are, of who they incarnated to be. And so I invite you, just this week, to consider, in the noise and the chaos, just go deeper, because there's something good and precious for you, and you deserve it. And when all else fails, remember to turn on your spam filter, spiritual protection against myself. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. So the ushers are going to come forward now, and we're going to share our gifts, our tithes, and our offerings. If you are one of our online members and friends, you can go to our webpage, our homepage, and just click the donate button. And we are going to have our children's choir come up, because after the affirmation, they are going to sing the offertory song. So please join me in saying, all that I am is, the spiritual universe is endless and inexhaustible. It is my sole source of supply. I give thanks that goodness and prosperity pour themselves down on me all the time. And now please welcome our youth.
That's great. Hi, I'm Ann Marshall, and I'm going to go through the announcements really quickly. And I do want to mention that the Denim and Diamonds silent and live auction, September 6th. I'll be out in Fellowship Hall if you have any questions. I'm looking for volunteers helping with the event, now through the event, the day of the event. Lots of things I can share with you, so come see me after service. This week at the center, Sowing Seeds of Greatness, Reverend Susan. The ABCs of Spirituality, Wednesdays, 7 to 8. Awaken Thursdays, Waking Up the Wisdom in Stillness and Community at 7 to 9 p.m. There's several more save the dates in your bulletin for upcoming events. The staff offices will be closed Thursday, July 3rd, so that the staff may enjoy a long weekend. Save the date. That's good news. Save the date. Dr. David will be offering a 4-week class entitled Managing Emotions and Thriving Under Pressure, beginning Monday, July 21st. Details will be available on the website next week, and registration begins next week. Lastly, the Wednesday Free Spiritual Practices class in July will be exploring gratitude and hope. The class is in the bulletin, but the topic was missing. So make it a great day.
Okay, so we're really excited that Dr. David will be back next week, but next week, July 6th, is also the kickoff of our summer series. Those of you who have been around long enough know that we often do a summer series, and this summer we're doing a 6-week series called And So It Is the Game Show. So every week there will be a game show happening, a game show skit. We're going to have the Wheel of Wholeness, the Partner Game, Spiritual Jeopardy, Family Feud. Yeah, all in a spiritual way. So we hope you'll join us the next 6 weeks. It's really, really fun. And if there is something in your life for which you would like prayer, please have a seat in the chapel area after service, and a licensed practitioner will pray with you. It is our gift. It is free. And if you are one of our online members, just please send a quick note that you would like prayer. There is an email for that that our moderator can give you, and you'll be contacted within 20 minutes with a prayer. Thank you. Please stand and take the hand of the person on your right and on your left. Would you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always. And all you need to do is look within to know that you are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good for you. So joyously make use of these gifts in all that you think, all that you say, and all that you do, and so it is. And something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is in my relationships.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I express it.
I express it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
Because I'm happy.